Hey Simmering, it's Speedbuild here with another collaboration video. Today we are doing another renovation battle organized by the lovely HavanaSims. So we are renovating the Lynx residence. Local authorities have reported a strange smell, and it's not the fish guts simmering in the blazing sun. Catarina Lynx has added another cat to her home. Authorities gave her two options: renovate or give up the cats. Catarina has asked for our help in making sure that her home is equipped to care for her fur babies. So her needs are: you must keep the shape of the build, and you must but you can add, remove, change the windows, doors, fences, gates, landscaping, and staircases. Create an ensuite for the cats, hobo contemporary theme for the interior, cottage theme for the exterior, and you must keep the fireplace. And we're not able to use the vampire, My First Pets, or Mosquito stuff because Havana doesn't currently have those packs. And these were to be up on the 22nd, although mine's going up on the 23rd because I'm just always late. She did do a Twitch tour, which was phenomenal. They always are. And then we had to share it up on the gallery under Lynx Reno. So if you want to check out everyone's builds, download them, you can use that hashtag. This was a little bit of a smaller group than usual, so our participants are HavanaSims, the organizer, Ashuria, Carrie Plays, Bree Simulated, myself, as well as Texas T. Wang Tanya. They all did a phenomenal job. Like I said, I really enjoyed the tour. So let's go ahead and hop into this build. I really like this house, actually. I'm a pretty big fan of Catarina Lynx in Cats and Dogs. Her, and then what is it, the Hecking household. I don't know. I like those pre-made sims. I play with them often. So I did try to keep a bit of her stuff because I didn't want to just completely come in and gut everything. So that's what we're going through right now, and I'm just trying to pick what I wanted to keep and then obviously what I'm getting rid of. And I did keep the majority of the layout. I just kind of changed it up, which you will see. But I tried to keep as much of the original as possible because I think it's a pretty decent Maxis made house or EA made house, whatever. We all know they're usually not the best, but I actually kind of enjoy this one. It's quirky, and I think it definitely fits Catarina's personality to a T. So I'm just trying to figure out the floor plan and come up with the general the flooring as well as the wallpaper and stuff. So I do end up making, this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. It was previously a 1-bedroom, 2-bath house, so it just didn't make sense to me to have 2 huge bathrooms and then 1 bedroom. But we weren't allowed to remove the porch, so I had to leave that upstairs. So it kind of messed with what I was planning to do, but it works out in the end. And here I am right now putting in the ensuite for the cats. I basically was thinking it was a walk-in closet that she converted into a room for her cats, since she has 5 or 6 of them. So many. So I'm just again planning the general layout. And I did want to take a time to kind of explain why this video is up so late, because it was quite an experience for me trying to get this house done. So the first round, what I was going through to build this, my dog, my new puppy, pulled the cord of my computer and it shut off and I lost all progress. I had been working on this thing for an hour. I lost all progress. I lost all video footage. So I had to start over, and then I get about 1/3 of the way through it and my game crashes. So I had to start over for a second time. I built this house 3 times. I'm not even exaggerating. And I had to stop a few times my recording. So I had the footage, but I didn't have the actual build anymore. So then I had to go back in, rebuild to where I had it when the footage stopped, and start recording again. So this house isn't going to look exactly the same on the gallery as it does in this video, because I tried my best to remember stuff, but I just didn't have the time to sit there and watch my speed build while I was building. So I tried my best to capture what I did in this video, but it's not 100% the same. It's really frustrating to me, just thinking about it. So there are certain points in the video where I just seem to really know what the heck I'm doing and just pulling out all these items and not even searching. that's because I had already built it and I was recreating it. But I wanted to kind of keep the aesthetic where the exterior walls were this whitewashed brick, because the like the exterior facing interior walls, if that makes sense, around the border of the house were brick that were whitewashed because the outside of the house is brick, and then use the interior walls with color because those are just like drywall or something like that. So that was like kind of the rationale behind the color schemes that I picked, and why like certain walls are brick and others are painted walls. That was like what I was thinking. And I wanted to make sure that I put out plenty of things for the cats, because the whole point of this renovation was to make sure that she could keep her fur babies. So we have like tons of food trays. I put in the high-tech, what is that, litter box, the one that gets rid of the poo for you. So I just put one in because, I mean, it obliterates it right away, so you don't have to clean it up. So that's pretty nice. She got the hook up there. But I just tried to put in as much stuff for her cats as possible. And I really like the way that this build turned out. I'm actually like, I want to play in it, like so badly I want to play her. And I'm thinking about doing like a mini LP, like maybe like a 4-parter, maybe potentially up to like 10 episodes, just kind of like showing how her life's improved since she's like had this build, because I believe she works in like the food career, and I see her as wanting to be a veterinarian and basically trying to like get her life together, get through school to like reach this dream. So I think that's what I want to do, just kind of play her, because I really enjoy her as a sim, and she just seems like she would be like a lot of fun to hang out with. Totally eccentric, but a lot of fun to hang out with. So we're finishing up the kitchen, which I feel like took the most time of everything because it crashed before I saved it and I had all of that clutter. It was frustrating. And this broom, it took me forever to figure out where I wanted to place this. And I don't know if it's exactly the same in the uploaded version as it is in the video, but like it took me forever to figure out where this thing was gonna go. And I gave her a little mail organizer there on the wall because I was just thinking like she's trying to stay organized so that the house doesn't get too chaotic, so that like her animals don't get taken away. I don't know, it was a really random like detail that I felt was actually pretty like in-depth in a weird way. But I'm working on the first bedroom that's downstairs. I basically was thinking this would be a guest room, and then eventually she would like have a child and like this would be their bedroom. So it is girly, but I do like that bed because there are other masculine like options as well. And I used a lot of the Tiny Living paintings for this. I really like the Tiny Living paintings that we got. And I used quite a bit of Tiny Living stuff because it's supposed to be boho contemporary. I always struggled to stick with like a theme. I'm not very good at like recognizing them, if that makes any sense. Like I'm just not good at sticking to it. Definitely see other simmers that do phenomenal jobs like picking a theme and sticking to it, but I just like pick stuff that I like, and I realize a lot of my houses aren't like cohesive throughout. But I guess that's kind of true in real life, because if you think about it, like people's bedrooms usually represent themselves, so like you might not have the same aesthetic as like, I don't know, the owner of the house. Like say you're a kid, like you're not gonna have the same aesthetic as your parents, but whatever, thinking way too much into this. So here we are doing the massive living room that ends up being a living room and a dining room. We had to keep the fireplace, which this is one of my favorite ones, so I wasn't upset about it. Sorry, Renee, I know how much you hate fireplaces. It's like a little joke in our group here, that she hates them like so much. But I used a lot of the movie hangout stuff as well because, I mean, the whole theme of that pack was like boho chic or something like that. So I used a lot of that furniture for the living room as well as for the dining area. Like basically this whole room is essentially like, I feel like the movie hangout stuff, cats and dogs, and some of the Tiny Living stuff. Like I feel like those were the majority of the items I used for this particular room. And it took me forever to find stuff that I wanted to match with this table, because I just don't really like the items that came in the pack that go with that table. But we ended up using the city living chairs, which I never use these because you have to unlock them, and they're like absolutely adorable. I want those in real life. I need to get chairs and paint them just like that. They look so cute. But I wanted to keep this I wanted to make this lived in but organized. So there is quite a bit of like clutter. I kept her little console table, added a bunch of clutter to it. Here I am just struggling to figure out where I'm gonna put this table so that it actually functions, because we have a 3-seater table in the kitchen, and it didn't make sense to me to have a 3-seater table in your formal dining area. So I ended up making it work, and just fiddling with everything, trying to figure out where it's going to go. So like I was saying, I tried to make it look lived in, but like basically controlled chaos, which is like the definition of my house. Not so much my office. My office is just chaos. It was hard to find a coffee table as well. I don't know why I didn't think to just pull out the coffee table from the same pack, but I went through like probably 6 or 7 options before I realized, oh yeah, there's that mirror one from the movie Hangout pack. There you go. So simple. It's so funny seeing this sped up, because this is like probably 4 hours of footage, which is insane because it's not a big house. And it's sped up to like a 20-some minute video, which is pretty long, but considering all of the issues that I went through, I really didn't want to cut like anything, because I stuck to my guns and I got this done. There were a few times I was seriously about to be like, I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. This is like too complicated. Everything just keeps like not working for me. But I made a commitment, so I stuck to it, especially because everyone had already recorded their videos and had said that I was doing the collab, so I didn't want to like disappoint them, because I procrastinated and then had an ungodly amount of tech issues. It's a common theme on this channel, the tech issues. It's just always happens. It's been like 3 months since I've uploaded a video too, so it's just like being rusty on top of like trying to entertain a puppy while you're trying to finish this, and then the puppy is obsessed with electrical cords. She's obsessed with them. She always goes after them, and I can't believe she did that. Every time she goes under my desk now, I just like scream at her. But she is cute. That's why puppies are cute, so you don't kill them. Because they do things that just drive you absolutely insane. But I like the way that this room ended up turning out. I had at one point pulled out a ton of clutter and was just placing it like all over the house, which I didn't include that in this footage, because I kind of struggle with clutter. I don't know how people are able to like find everything for each room when they go through it, and it seems like they do it so quickly. And I feel like it just makes when I try to do it, it makes the speed build so choppy and awkward. So I did end up pulling out like a bunch of clutter when I was doing the kitchen and just placed it like in the various rooms throughout the house, so that way when I got to that room I could use it. And that's pretty much, I think, gonna be my tactic moving forward, is just taking like the 20 to 30 minutes, yeah, it takes me that long to pull out all of the clutter from like, you know, the regular clutter menu as well as the debug menu. Debug is like what kills me. I even tried using some of Simlissy's rooms that she has clutter saved in, and it just didn't seem to work for this build. But I appreciate the fact that she took the time to like put all of her favorite clutter items like in rooms for people, because she is like the queen of clutter and just making a build look lived in. So I definitely appreciate that she did that, and I feel like there are so many people that like feel the same way and use it, and it just makes their lives so much easier, because I just don't know how people find all of those items like when they're building. I don't understand, because it's not like it's not really built to be searched, so I don't know. I'm always amazed by that. But anyway, let's get back to the actual build part. So here I am doing the exterior. I wanted to keep this pretty similar to the original, because in my mind, like especially with this one, it was a renovation. Like she needed to do certain things to keep her cats, but I don't see Catarina as having like a ton of money. So I didn't want to just like go completely crazy. So I wanted to keep this fence, but it drives me nuts how the posts work for this particular fence. If you don't have it the exact like correct length, they get weird and it bothers me. So I ended up using this, like, I don't know if you would call it like a trellis or a lattice texture pattern, whatever. But I used that, which gives you a little less privacy, but I'm okay with it. And then I wanted to give her a more well-rounded personality other than just like some crazy cat lady. So I added in stuff so she could do the gardening skill as well as the flower arranging skill. I put plants out, or like the catnip things, so you can plant them. So one side is a plantable garden, the other one is completely empty, so I figured she could start to put flowers in there so she would have flowers for the arranging skill. And then just gave her like a nice sitting area outside. So it's not like crazy landscaped in the actual like yard portion, but in the front I did go pretty all out, I feel like, especially for me, because landscaping has always intimidated me in game. I don't know, people just do such good jobs, and I'm like, I don't understand how we have the same amount of plants and yours looks like this and mine looks like that. So I really tried for this one because, like I said, I just wanted to give her a little bit more of a well-rounded personality as opposed to just like some lady who has like a million cats. And I just felt like this fence here was way too bulky for the front, and I did keep it for the back because I like how it separated everything. But in the front it was just like, excuse me, my throat. In the front it was just like too much. So I did kind of just want to take this time to also give a little like channel update / life update because this video is so long. But as I mentioned, it's been like 3 months since I posted a video. It's been almost 5 months since I posted a Let's Play part, which is like insane to me. And there's definitely a reason for that. And it comes down to something that I feel like a lot of us as creators experience and go through, and it basically comes down to the fact that I've been feeling very, very insecure in my content. I don't know, I feel like other people do it so much better, and I've just been getting like way in my own head and just basically getting in my own way. So I stopped creating for like a while. Or I should say, I stopped posting because I have recorded probably 15 different videos within the past 5 months, but just never posted any of them because I just felt like they weren't good enough. And that's a shame, like, especially because you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people. Like, we're all different. You know, it takes people, it's difficult for everyone to get to where they want to be, and you honestly don't know what other creators go through to get their channels to the state that they're at. And there's just so many options for viewers that it is really hard to like grow. And that's just because there's just an oversaturation. So I'm just trying to like focus more on creating content that I really love, which I always have. But I've been getting in my own way and being really insecure about my content and my ideas. And I just need to like work on that and just basically post things that really resonate with me. I feel like a lot of people feel similar to the way that I do and have the same struggle. But my channel could have grown so much in the last 5 months, but I just kept getting in my own way. So I just want to get back to creating again. I don't intend to have a schedule. I don't know if I ever will, just because, well, one, I have a small channel, so there's no need to put that pressure on myself. Like, the whole point of this is to have fun. I don't see myself being a big channel, or this being a job. Like, that's not realistic. It's just not realistic. So I just think that we as a community tend to put so much pressure on ourselves to like create amazing content, post regularly, and basically have a channel like it's our full-time job, even though we don't have the following for that. And it's just like not sustainable, especially if you are like a working adult. It is not sustainable. I commend those people that are able to do it. I don't know how you do, but I just see so many people posting on Twitter and other places about like their mental health and how stressed out they are and how unhappy they are. And I just feel like as a community, we tend to put this unrealistic expectation on ourselves. And I think it's a problem. And I think that we all need to be a little bit nicer to ourselves. I definitely think we're all very supportive of one another, and we try to watch as many videos as we can and, you know, interact with everyone as much as we can. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun, and I just need to remember that, basically. So I am happy to be jumping in, creating videos again, and this is my first one, and I get to collaborate with some wonderful simmers that have always been very supportive and kind to me, and I honestly enjoy this collab so much, and I appreciate that it gave me an excuse and the motivation to like get back into creating content. This collab's done that for me a couple times already, where I really wasn't posting anything, but because I committed to this collaboration, I ended up posting at least that video. And I really appreciate the fact that like we have this beautiful community, we have this wonderful collab group, and you know, we're all there to support each other. It's just like, it's very unique, and maybe obviously there's probably other communities I have no idea about that are very similar, but this one I'm very appreciative to it. And the fact that I have people who do like slide into my DMs and say like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while, or like, how are you doing, like, how's life, like, it's just really nice to know that there are people that actually like think about you and care and like reach out, and they can tell like somehow that you're like something's not right, or maybe just like realize like, oh, I haven't heard from so and so in a while, like I wonder how they're doing. It's just nice to know that there are people that like genuinely actually care about you, and you've never met them in person. It's like, it's very interesting. So I am very appreciative to Havana for putting this together. She just actually mentioned in our group chat that it's like the 1-year anniversary of this collab when it started. Like, that's crazy. We've been doing this for a year, and it's just like a beautiful thing. Like, I'm actually like getting a little emotional right now, like thinking about it, because like I said, there have been times where like this was the only reason I posted like stuff, and I really enjoy making content, but it gets hard sometimes. And yeah, it just means a lot that she even invited me to like be a part of this in the first place, and to see something that started a year ago that's still going on is just like, it's phenomenal, and I'm so grateful. So yeah, that's kind of like what's been going on. It's been going on for a while. Like, I've talked about my mental health like quite a few times on the channel, and just like my general like insecurities about being a channel or content creator. And I definitely do not think I'm unique in how I feel. Yeah, and it just makes me sad when I see like so many people struggling with the same thing. And I really feel like it's just like a big part of it is not having like realistic expectations, and being super hard on yourself. I think we need to all just be a little bit nicer to ourselves, because we're nice to each other. So be nice to yourself. But yeah, I don't know, that got really random. So it looks like we're almost coming up to the screenshot, so I think I'm going to leave it off here, guys. I just want to say, make sure that you check out everyone else's videos in the collab, and please be sure to vote for your favorite build. The information is linked down in the description. I'm not sure off the top of my head when the voting closes, but I will leave that information down below. Thank you so much for taking the time to check this out, and I appreciate it so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!